Hello everyone and welcome to a really wild game that includes a position you guys keep sending me ever since Elon Musk had tweeted about it on Twitter, the so-called Chuckmate. Now, is it possible and how would this game even turn out? Now, not so long ago, I think it was, okay, maybe 2 years ago, somewhere during around Christmas, Hikaru Nakamura gave such odds to Mr. Beast. He defeated him using only a king and a queen. If you remember, this was the thumbnail of the video. So with the black pieces, just a king and queen, and he defeated Mr. Beast, who had all of his pieces, all of his pawns and everything. And even though Mr. Beast knows how to play chess, it was considered impossible that such a thing could happen. Now, what would it take for someone to win with only a pawn? Now, of course, this position is an illegal one because the white king is missing from the board. That's something that whoever made this obviously didn't take into consideration. Probably is not a chess player. They probably wanted to emphasize how Chuck Norris was all-powerful and, something like that, most likely. I don't know what the idea behind the tweet is. Probably something to do with Elon buying Twitter or not buying Twitter or whatever, but that's not what we are here to discuss. If anyone knows what it's about, do share in the comments, to increase everyone's vast knowledge. But we are here to discuss the position. Is it possible, and what would happen? So, of course, it's not possible, but it kind of is possible. Let's say that there was a king on the board, or maybe the king was cloaked, or maybe somewhere on the board. Let's say the king was maybe, here on e1, let's say, and would the position be playable now? Because this position can occur. I've been in many bars and I've seen many people play, and for example, this one time I played against a very strong player, maybe rated, at the time I played him, I was rated maybe around 1500, he was rated around 2000, and he already had a few beers, maybe, three or four, a reasonable amount of beer for any person, and as, we were just blitzing the moves, his king fell off the board and he didn't realize it. It was sitting in his lap, and he was thinking about what to do, and he couldn't figure out a move because he couldn't make plans. There was no king on the board, and it just took him like forever to realize this. But okay, just a nice story to throw in, maybe, that it's possible to have a position with only one king on the board if you are playing in a bar, for example. But here, let's say, what does this position bring us if the king is, let's say, on e1? Can white win this, and how bad would black have to play for white to actually win this, if it's possible? Because Mr. Beast lost to Hikaru with only a king and queen, so would it be possible for someone to defeat anyone who has full pieces, full pawns, with only a king and a pawn? And of course, we don't have an opponent, so we are using Mr. Hoodie guy. I hope you guys are wearing a hoodie as well, and I found well, it can be done. It can be done, and it can be done fairly quickly. For example, if black wanted to win this, it's not a problem. Let's say white would push the pawn, black would block the pawn, and now we just bring a queen and any piece into the game, and we checkmate the white king. Let's say king to d1. Sorry about that. Let's say queen to d6, we're gonna bring the queen into the game. It's the fastest way to checkmate the white king. Let's say king c1, queen to h2, we cut off the white king from the back rank, and now we pretty much bring any piece into the game. We can even do it with a knight. Let's say king c1, knight captures king here, and now a nice checkmate. Queen c2 check, queen e2 checkmate. It would take black 7 moves to checkmate white from this position. But how many moves would it take white to checkmate black? If black did not play the absolute best moves, or maybe black was just, fooling around, or maybe black was not the greatest of players, as, such people do exist. Let's check it out. This is what I've come up with. Maybe you can come up with something better or faster. So d4, let's say e5, giving up a pawn for rapid development, d captures on e5, and f6, giving up more material for rapid development. E captures on f6, knight to e7, hoping for pawn captures knight, and then we just capture the knight and checkmate the white king. But now f captures on g7, and now let's say black wants to, humiliate white for some reason, or black is just a weird person, would play h5. He wants to march his pawn down the board and bring another queen into the game, because sometimes when you really want to humiliate your opponent, you're just gonna bring, you know, 10 queens in the game, and of course not 10. You can't have 10 of them, but you can have 9 of them. So here, let's say g captures on h8. You could bring a queen into the game, but let's take a knight. Okay, so we grab a knight. h4. Black continues to march his pawn down the board, promote it to a queen. Knight to g6. We have knight b to c6, and now knight to f4. Guarding the h3 square, we have knight to e5, and now knight to h5. And here, let's say knight to f7 and knight to f6, and this is now a beautiful smothered mate. This is what I've come up with. 9 moves we can probably do it faster. I didn't really put much thought into this. I just wanted to answer your question if it's possible for white to win this. Of course it's possible. If you have a pawn, you have a chance, or if you have any piece, there's always a chance with if black also has pieces and pawns, then a position can be possible. There are even exercises that you can do if you've ever heard of a self-mate or helpmate. It's a position where you have to find moves, and black has to help you to checkmate the black king, and it's a really weird concept, but for some reason some people do it. So this would be one such example. Now it is possible, of course, not from this position, or it is possible from this position if you're playing in a bar and the white king falls into your lap or something, but in a position where the white king is just nicely sitting on the board, it is of course possible to win this with white if black does not have perfect moves. I was able to do it in 9 moves. If you have a faster example, do post in the comments. I will give it a heart so everyone can see it. Is it possible to checkmate black even faster from this position? So yeah, a nice detour from the current events. Hope you guys enjoyed this, as it is quite a question to answer, because some people might think that this is impossible, you can't play this, there's no way that you can win. But in chess, if you have even 1 pawn, you can defeat your opponent if your opponent isn't that amazing of a player. So yeah, that's the game and the nice story. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I would like to thank Steven Abrams, Nagarjuna Ponugoti, David Bacon, Ravishing Reptiles YouTube, and Gregory Patetsky for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing the coverage of the FTX Crypto Road to Miami Cup, checking up on your wonderful suggestions such as this one and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all, I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day. And as always, big congratulations to everyone who watched this video wearing a hoodie. See you soon.